Good morning, Sugarcube. Or should I say morning?
Morning.
Yeah.
It's been a morning.
Yeah, for reference, we both dropped, like, our mics just fell over, like, twice each right before we were starting.
And then we tried to start, and my mic fell, and it's not even like I'm in a bad mood or anything. It's just like I was getting ready, and usually if I shower and I'm done in the shower by 9:30, I'm okay.
8:30.
8:30, yeah. But, and usually I can get ready at least by 9:02. At least by 9:02. But for some reason this morning I couldn't do it.
We're still recording around the same time we normally would, though.
True. But it threw me off. And now I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't have time to straighten my hair. I just, like, didn't do it. I guess I probably could have with the few extra minutes that you took, but I was like, I'd rather be safe.
Yeah.
But
you know what I blame it on? I blame it on the fact that Starbucks is out of almond milk.
Yeah, everything is their fault. I'm mad about the oat milk.
Literally, okay, guys, it takes a lot for me to try a new drink at Starbucks. You know this. Like, It takes a lot for me to try. I used to try a lot of different ones, but then I got so used to what I usually get that I just wouldn't try anything new. But I tried the sugar cookie almond milk latte, and I loved it. Then I tried it with oat milk, loved it even more.
And I've only gotten to try it with 2% because they were out of both. And, like, I went, like, the 2 days after they released it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm just like, not only does it suck because obviously everyone wants to try this new drink, the only new drink they've released. Like, they might release a Taylor one, but, like, not confirmed. And, like, honestly, I don't care that much.
I heard that it was just a non-fat caramel latte.
I can get that normally. Like, if you were really a Taylor fan, you would just order it, you know?
Yeah, and I'm, like, not to be that person, but I'm, like...
They're gonna upcharge it.
You're not special for getting a non-fat caramel latte.
Yeah, also, they're just gonna upcharge it once they attach Taylor's name to it.
Yeah. I wish that her drink would be, like, a maple...
I don't know, some fall shit,
Yeah,
you know?
fall shit.
Red fall shit, put some red sprinkles.
I saw somebody online say that she should have done it during the 1989 re-recordings because of the misheard lyric in Blank Space where it's like, got a long list of ex-lovers, and people think it's got a long list of Starbucks lovers.
I've never heard that.
Really? Because that's very common.
Also, that came out, that album, we were in, like, middle school, or at least that's when I listened to it a lot, I'm pretty sure.
8th grade.
Yeah, 8th grade, and I was a little whore, so I knew exactly what it was saying.
I bought that album the day it came out.
Yeah, that was, like, I
never misheard it.
Yeah, me either.
A lot of people do.
What was that one line from one of the Fearless Volt songs that Lauren got mixed up, and it just, like, didn't make any sense? It was something about, like, summer, or I don't even remember which song it was, but it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense, and we were like, you really thought it was that?
Well, like, but I am guilty of, what is it, Death by a Thousand Cuts? I, like, almost always used to get that one lyric wrong. It's, like, grinning like the devil or something.
Cruel Summer.
Cruel Summer, oh my god. Y'all, it's morning. I promise I know the difference between those two songs. They just both go really hard.
Grinning like a devil.
I always thought it was like, he looks so greedy, like a devil.
Aww.
Which, like, greed is like one of the 7 circles of hell, so I don't feel like that's weird.
See, the first time I heard it, I thought it was, he looks so pretty.
Yeah, I used to do that one too.
And then I saw on Twitter it was, he looks up.
I did.
And I'm like...
I did pretty, and then I did greedy, and then I finally realized what it was.
Yeah.
But only after being shamed. Like, okay, correct me on the lyric. You don't have to be a cunt about it. Or bitch. Oh my god, I'm gonna stop trying to say that word when we record. Y'all, I do not mean it in, like, a bad way. It's just, like, I just like that word, okay? I had some European, like, online friends growing up that would, like, FaceTime all the time. So then, like, I would just say it. And
you can always cut it out, too.
That's so much work, though. I'm just gonna get, like, I did pretty good for a while not saying it. Just the last 2 episodes, not great. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be better about it because I know it offends people for whatever reason. Speaking of offending people, let's talk about The Bachelor.
Yeah, but before we do, I need to crack this open.
Fair.
I'm tired. Wow.
You know, like, people are probably judging us so hard for drinking, like, pops in the morning. Or sodas. Oh, well, you have, like, an energy drink, though.
Mm-hmm. I feel a little bit better. Is it bad that anytime I have an issue on Monday or Wednesday, my first thought is, well, I should just skip class?
Oh, yeah, you do have a class today. I was like, you work today. What do you mean?
Yeah, I work until 4 and then I have a class.
See, I have a class tonight, but it's the one I actually like, and he takes attendance. And I have a friend in there. But, oh my god. I'm over my Monday class, though.
I'm over.
But Tuesday nights are always the best. Like I was telling you, though, I wasn't as excited for last night's episode for some reason. Like, I was really excited after last week. And then I just wasn't that excited yesterday, and I normally am very excited by the time it's time to watch The Bachelorette.
Me too, but I have other reasons that we can talk about later.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just having an off day, I think.
That's fair.
And yeah, we'll talk more about it later. But, so...
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
And just a quick side note, you guys... When this episode started, Michelle, she had, like, some shine on her nose, and I thought she was wearing a nose ring.
And she would look so good with a double hoop or something.
So good. And I'm just like, Michelle, like, even a fake. Just get
Literally, it'd be so cute.
It would. She would so pull it off.
Yeah. And this week, was the first week we had 2 one-on-ones and 1 group date.
Yeah, see, I was right.
Yeah.
Where I was like, at one point there should be 2 one-on-ones. I just got it mixed up.
It feels soon, though, because so we started the episode with 14 men, and we ended with 11. So it seemed like a lot to have 12 men on the group date.
I would feel so overwhelmed. But when we get to the group date, I definitely have thoughts on that.
Yeah,
about having 12 men.
Yeah, let's just talk about Martin, because by the end of the episode, we kind of forgot his one-on-one even happened.
Yeah, and we have some opinions. So Martin got the first one-on-one, and first of all, I noticed he has a flower tattoo behind his ear.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
I pointed it out a while ago. I don't know that was on air, though.
I don't think I remembered it, but
I love it.
I saw it, and I was like, damn, maybe I should get a flower tattoo behind my ear.
Oh my god, you totally should.
I should.
It's so cute.
That's also funny, because last night I had a dream that Cross wanted to get a tattoo, and then I wanted one. Not to get matching tattoos, but, like, we were going to get a tattoo.
Like, together, but, like, different tattoos.
That's so funny. But yeah, so flower tattoo, I really like that. He didn't have his glasses on during the day, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, we love the glasses.
He looks so cute in them.
Yeah, I was obsessed with the, like, racing and, like, everything. I thought that was fun. And I'm not normally that type of girl, I don't think. Like,
actually, for me, I thought it was boring. But in my defense, I mostly thought it was boring because it's just a recycled date. Matt and Jasenia did this on Matt's season.
No, they recycle it pretty much every season, if not every other season. I don't really think we've seen an original date yet.
No.
And I don't know that we will.
I think, and it usually wasn't a problem, but I think since COVID happened, they've just had trouble figuring out what to do safely, so.
Yeah, but also, my thing with that is I can't really make an excuse for that anymore, because now they're taking all of them to Minneapolis.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I don't know how that, like, nothing against Minneapolis, like, I don't know. It's just, like, they're all having them travel instead of just saying where they've been. That just seems like traveling hasn't been on any of the COVID seasons.
No, this is definitely more normal.
Yeah.
And I know Clayton's season is going to be that way too.
Yeah, Clayton's going to be back in the mansion, right?
Yeah.
As he should. Yeah. He has like that mansion energy. I don't know. Also, the mansion just reminds me specifically of The Bachelor for some reason.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing is like, I love him. Like, he's probably who I would pick for myself right now. Maybe. But I'm still like, wait, I don't know him.
Yeah, here's the thing. Besides the one that Michelle has shown that she really likes, we don't really know the men. Like, Leroy's still here, and I'm so happy. But, like, we know literally nothing about Leroy.
Yeah.
Besides, he's attractive as hell.
Yeah.
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 And they really said, I know we're going to talk about the group date in a minute, but oh my god, they, like, all the other guys got fucked over when they put Leroy in those pajamas. They were so cute.
And then he had a necklace. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was not wearing his glasses, like, at all, though, and I was so sad. I guess, apparently, we're just, like, glasses people. Like, I get during the date, but, like, during, like, the party, I was kind of, like, wanting him to wear them, because he just looks so stylish with them, and it's very attractive to me.
When a guy has a good pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so, during the day portion of Michelle and Martin's date, though, I was already, like, something felt off to me. I was, like, getting weird vibes from him.
They were acting different than they normally do together, I feel like.
And this isn't why I got bad vibes, but I wrote it down. He seems shy. But again, that's not why I got vibes. But in general, I think he seems kind of shy. And then, he said something along the lines about, like, feeling like the luckiest man ever, and I hate...
There was at least 2 or 3 of those comments this episode, I feel like.
And I wrote them down.
And I just disregard it, because I'm just like, it's so irritating to me.
It's so irritating, and it gives me bad vibes. And then, so they get to the hot tub.
Or makeshift hot tub, which was probably, like,
whatever it was.
Outside temperature.
Yeah.
Disgusting, like, ooh.
It reminds me of a tub that my grandma had outside that she would use to wash the dogs.
Yeah. No, I just remembered this episode of My 600-Pound Life, and they had one of those on the porch for the guy. And when you said that, it made me, like, remember it.
Yeah. But I guess that's their hot tub.
Yeah.
And so in the hot tub, you know, it's supposed to be all steamy and shit, but no. He brings Jamie up.
Does he bring it up? Or does...
He brought it up.
Okay.
Because Michelle was just talking in general about struggling and then, like, trying to find her path and whatever. And then he brought up Jamie.
Yeah. And essentially he ends up saying that he still thinks Jamie is hell of a man. And, like, and he made sure to, like, say that he more so meant, like, from his perspective, as one of the guys, rather than Michelle's perspective as the Bachelorette.
Yeah, well, and see, initially I wrote down why bring Jamie up, just because I was like, why would you bring up another guy in general on your one-on-one time? And then when she started to talk, I was like, shit, I didn't even think about that. Because she's starting to say, like, does this mean he doesn't trust my decisions and blah, blah, blah? And I was like, damn, she has a point.
I disagree.
Why?
I just feel like you should be able to talk to a potential partner about anything, even if it seems harsh. And I just think that the show, I have a couple other comments about the show structure and, like, how it's been done in the past. Like, throughout this whole episode, there was a lot of stuff that was irritating me. But it makes it seem like no matter who the lead is and no matter who they're talking to, that the other person is not allowed to have their own opinions. And, like, I get what she's saying. Like, I'm not saying I don't at all. And I'm not even, like, agreeing with what Martin's saying, because I fucking hate Jamie. But I think that you should be able to share differing opinions. And if you can't do that this early on, it's only going to become more of a problem later on. So I just feel like they should be able to share their opinions with one another.
Yeah, I agree with that, but to me it felt like he was making her feelings invalid. And I think maybe it was just a trigger because I remember when I was with a certain someone and there would be kind of discussions where I would express how I was feeling and he would instantly be like, well, I mean, you need to consider this and that, but like kind of in a condescending way. And so it just like, it made me
No, and I get what you're saying. He was also talking over Michelle. That was my biggest problem, is he kept talking over her after he would like be quiet for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a problem with that, but I just didn't like how defensive Michelle was. I think it was kind of this whole episode, to be honest.
Yeah, she was extremely defensive the entire
And
episode.
it was just like, I love Michelle, and maybe I'm just being nitpicky at this point, but I'm just like, in my head, it is still a two-way street for relationships. So like, she can't just expect all these men just to be perfect. Nobody is going to just be perfect and check all the boxes and go about life seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, here's my thing. So when he talked about it in the hot tub, I was pissed, but then later at night, it made more sense.
yeah.
And I think he handled it better at night than he did in the morning.
I definitely do too. I think he did a really good job of addressing what happened. And one of my biggest things is like, when you're discussing something, when you just continue to bring up the logistics of what happened rather than trying to figure out why it happened and how to prevent it in the future. And I don't think Martin did that, so I really appreciated it, because I just feel like once you just refer back to what the disagreement was in the first place, you just start talking in circles, and then you kind of miss the point of like, it already happened, you can't like fix it. All you can do is like work for like not having it happen again in the future. If that makes sense.
One thing that I did appreciate is that he really did hear her out. You could tell he was really listening to what she was saying. He brought up how he doesn't cry and like how it's hard for him to open up emotionally and like show his emotions, which I can identify with that as well.
I identify so hard with that. I wrote down like, he was talking about how he's too logical and not emotional enough, and like I feel that, like,
yeah, and it made me feel worried for him, because that's something a lot of people struggle with, but I feel like a lot of people watching are just gonna take it as a red flag, when I'm like, no, it's hard when you're that way.
And I think the thing is, so many people have so many emotions and like are very expressive, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I don't think there's wrong either side being in the middle. I just think people who have struggled to share their emotions understand that more than people who are able to express a lot of emotions, if that makes sense. Because like, I feel like we completely understand, and like, I'm not trying to like generalize about anything. I just feel like whenever I've tried to explain to someone I've been close with who is like very emotional and very expressive, that I'm just not like that. So like, I don't catch up, like I don't pick up on all of those things sometimes. They don't really understand, and they just treat it like I'm being insensitive when I'm not being insensitive. It's just I'm not very expressive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's my thing. I was about to say that a lot of it is I do have a lot of emotions internally, but for me it can be really hard to express that outwardly, especially depending on who I'm around.
Yeah. I think the date did feel kind of emotionless, but then like how they were talking about how they both struggle with that, it made sense to me, and I do feel like it allowed them to connect, and if they can work to overcome it together, they could still build something strong. So I was happy they worked through it, because I do still like Martin. It's just one conversation that was kind of like a hiccup, you know?
For me, I think it was a great conversation at night, but I don't really see him in the final 3.
Oh, no. I don't even see him in the final 5. I'm just saying, like, if they...
No, I know. That wasn't targeted towards you.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't even see him in any of the previews next week either, for next week's episode.
Yeah, by the end of the episode, he was irrelevant.
I mean, Will, like, he was all the talk for the past 2 weeks, and we didn't see
You said Will, and I was like, who?
No, you literally looked so confused. I thought it was so funny, like, because the only thing I remember noticing about him on this date is that they gave him the most basic-ass black silk PJs, and everybody else got something kind of funny or cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of the group date, so they get the group date card at the house, and then... when we get the group date, it makes us realize, oh, Rick's gonna get the one-on-one, and then
Nate.
So yeah, Nate makes a comment about how he's not worried. He knows he's gonna get a one-on-one. It's just about when. And
I can tell by your tone that we disagree about this.
At first it annoyed me. Because he came off cocky. However, I get what here's the thing. I get what he's saying, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just, like, a matter of when. But the way he said it was just, it seemed arrogant to me.
See, I just felt like it was him being confident in his relationship with Michelle.
See, but for me, I'm like, confidence... There's such a big difference with, like, confidence and then just being cocky, you know? In the moment, he felt cocky to me. Even though I agree with what he was saying, I was like, that's valid.
I feel like there was, like, a flip in his edit this episode.
Yeah.
He got a very different edit.
Well, I don't know how to feel because at certain points in the episode, I was like, yes, I still stand him. And then there was other times where I was like, oh shit, did I speak too soon?
I'm not gonna change my mind yet. We'll
talk more about him eventually.
Well, yeah, I have a feeling...
He said a couple of things, though, that really pissed me off.
Also, though, no, I agree. I will say I think Michelle was saving some of her men that she holds special to her for the Minneapolis one-on-ones because she knew they would be going. Mm-hmm. There's no way she didn't. So that is the sole reason I don't think Nate and Joe have gotten one-on-ones yet. Otherwise, I think they would have.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's more like she already knows she has such a strong connection with them that she doesn't feel the need right now.
See... I would just rather strengthen those already strong relationships, in my opinion.
I think it depends on who you are, because for me, I'm like, well, if I feel strong about this person, how do I know it couldn't be this other person who I haven't talked to? Because, I mean, in my personal experience, that's what happened. So...
I just feel like if someone's not already sticking out to me in a group, and, like, I already, like, and I'm not being, like, drawn to that person and wanting to spend more time with them, and I'm just bringing them on a date to figure it out, like, I guess it depends on who you are.
Okay, but my thing is, like, there's a difference when it's, like, if it would have been Romeo versus, like, I get why she took Rodney on a date.
No, yeah.
So, yeah.
No, and, like, that's the thing. It depends on who you are.
Yeah. Agreed. Which I am more on other men too. Like Rodney, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we have a slumber party date.
Which I actually thought was pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie.
And first of all, I noticed Clayton and there was one other person in a robe. And I was like, I felt that.
I think Casey was in like this like turquoise silk robe.
And I'm like, why would you choose a silk robe?
Yeah. I thought Clayton's was so accurate for him, though. Like, I don't know.
He reminded me of a huge teddy bear, and I love it.
I know. I love him.
I want to cuddle him. And then Chris S. is in a top and undies.
Yeah, that one scene of him before the date was funny. I'm gonna give him that. I think it was really
when
funny.
he fell.
But once they got on the date, one of the first few things they only showed it for a few seconds, was Chris S. and Michelle playing Twister.
Yes, I wrote it down.
I was like, that is so icky.
It's so icky. I was like, thank God they don't have paint.
Oh my God, I'd be so mad.
It would have been one of those things.
Nothing else really about the date really bothered me, and I get bothered pretty easily, I feel like. I'm sure it's been done before, but it's not one of those ones that I feel like, oh my God, they do all the time kind of thing, but it's been done.
Yeah, they did it on Peter's season, with the women, but I liked this one because Peter's season was more like just women fighting and then wearing lingerie for some reason, whereas this one was like a slumber party, fun.
Yeah.
So I liked it. Pillow fight.
Yeah, the teddy bear fights, like, it was cute, but
basically, though, Michelle gets the ick, I feel like, because she sees all of the men, like, just having fun together and, like, kind of being childish and, like, playful. No one's talking to her. I did point out that she called Clayton over first.
Mm-hmm.
And Clayton goes, who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have, like, very mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Because I think we kind of talked about this last night, but we were trying not to say too much. See, my thing is, I don't feel like just because she's the Bachelorette, the men should have to put all of the effort in, but I understand, like, that she would expect that.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of off-putting that no one was. I was like, Leroy, you had, like, no time shown, like, make an effort.
Well, and my thing is, like, I think you can agree with this. Like, as women, at least for me, like, sometimes I want my partner to do things without me having to ask or me put in the effort.
Yeah.
And, like, yes, you both have to put in effort, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you want something to happen with it being unheard. And then another thing is, I feel like, as we learned later, like, Michelle just has a lot of built-up trauma.
Yeah.
And I think she got triggered.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think it like you said, it was just a very big trigger for Michelle, and I get that. And if it were me in that situation, like, I don't think I would have reacted that way, just because I don't have that same trauma that she does.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, while I feel differently about it, it's not my place because I don't know how she feels going through it.
Well, and, like, at first I was even like, well, she doesn't feel seen, but what did she expect? Like,
12
they're
men.
just doing the day. Yeah, and there was 12 men. That's a lot. But on the other side, there are 12 men, and none of them approached her.
Yeah.
So I can understand why.
Or at least not that we saw.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, part of me is just like, oh, you could have just, like, they were doing a lot of group activities together. You could have, like, jumped in and, like, put a little effort in to get a lot of effort in return. Not that we know that they would have. But, like, I don't know. She just kind of, I don't feel like the guys would just purposely move away from her. And she just always seemed like she was on the opposite side of the room. So maybe it was, like, not purposeful, or she was just moving away to see if someone would come up to her.
Yeah. I think, too, it's like, she was on this season of The Bachelor, and the women would do anything to get Matt's attention, and now she's on the other side of it, and she's like, well, why is no one doing that for me?
Not to generalize, but I feel like that's kind of the difference between men and women. When women, or, like, in my experience, when I like someone, I put myself out there, I make it known. And, like, I know a lot of girls, like, even if they don't tell them that they like them, they'll go out of their way to spend time with them. And, like, in my current relationship, Jalen's like, no, I really liked you, but I would have never said anything. Like,
I was about to say that I probably would have been more on the men side of it, where I would have just hung out with the other women.
Yeah, like me and you would have been like, oh my god, teddy bears.
Well, see, I feel like you would have been doing something to make the lead notice you, whereas me, I would just expect them to notice me as I'm like hanging out with the girls.
I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. We're never going on this show, so it's like kind of fun to theorize because part of me would just want to be like, no, I'm so noticeable. Like, they're going to notice me no matter what. But then the strategic fuckery side of me would be like, no, I'm the one and only. I'm going to make sure they know I'm the one and only.
See, I
and
feel
like a
like
bitch, you know?
You would have the strategy.
Oh, I
would. I would not.
You'd just be like, I'm going to go about it casually, see where
I would be
it goes.
the girl that would shine on the one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we've talked about this. I feel like I would just surprise them on a one-on-one because they would, like, take me to see if it was anything deeper than just my fun personality, like, or, like, my playfulness. And then I would surprise them if I was able to get, like, deep with them. But also, if I didn't like the lead, I'd be the one to leave. Mm-hmm. Like, straight up. I might stay for a little while just to see how far I could go.
Leave after fantasy suite.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
No. I'd pull a Serena, though.
Oh, my God.
I forgot.
That would happen to me. I would be going far, and then I would be like, wait.
Do I have the ick from this person?
And then I would give it Joe. All is well.
Oh, my God. She really won.
She did.
She won.
Oh my God. But then of course they do the whole whichever team of men wins the wrestling match, they get to go to the evening portion, and then the other men gotta go home. And so you have Clayton versus Joe, Ronnie versus Leroy, Will versus Nate, Casey versus Chris S., Brandon versus Olu, and then there was one other.
Did you get Romeo and Chris G?
No, because they're irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, I like Chris G. I'm sad he's gone, but I expected him to leave last week, so.
I did too. And why is Romeo there? Why?
He left, didn't he?
He did, but I'm saying in this episode, why was he there?
I don't know why Casey's gonna be here next week.
Casey scares me.
He's terrifying. Anyway, but after that, it was Casey, Clayton, Romeo, Olu, Leroy, and Nate who get to go to the after party.
I will say, I just want to point out, Nate made a comment about body.
Yeah.
He said that Rodney was like a sack of potatoes, and Leroy was like a 14, like the body of a
17-year-old boy or something.
And like,
it was Brandon, the 17-year-old.
No,
body.
he was talking about Leroy because it was the two that were fighting.
Okay. I thought you said Brandon for some reason last night.
And it just like, it was disappointing to me because I'm like, while a lot of people probably take that in good fun, for me, I'm just like, if this was women, that wouldn't be okay.
Exactly. So we have to hold them to the same standard.
Yeah.
And I think it's also hard because we have heard part of Rodney's struggle with how he looks and always feeling like he's the underdog and feeling like he's not the most attractive. So saying stuff like that, which society typically deems as like not attractive, which I obviously don't agree with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like assigning that, but, like, he knows, like, I know what he's saying when he says that kind of stuff because of how society has fucked up our minds, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, for all we know, Leroy could be struggling about the fact that he is more of a smaller build.
Yeah.
And so it just, like, for me, you have this guy, Nate, who is so built and, like, he's 6'8" and strong, saying this comment about the two men, and I don't think he meant any harm by it. Like, he said it with a laugh. Like, I think he said it in fun, but it doesn't make it okay.
And I agree. And, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, he's such a horrible person.
No. And we're both advocates for body awareness and just body positivity.
But some people just don't know.
Yes, agreed. And so it's just more about, like, holding him accountable and then hoping.
Yeah, like we're not only going to bring it up when it's a Bachelor season and it's about women. No.
To be honest, I don't think many people probably even thought about it.
No. I wasn't really listening that closely. I was writing something down, so when you said that, I was, like, very off put. And I feel like a lot of people would, like, just hear that and, like, not think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Which men were on the winning team?
Casey, Clayton, Romeo, Alu, Leroy, and Nate.
Okay. So, yeah. But then we get, like, a quick little snippet of Michelle talking to Caitlyn, and she talks about how she's always been the one fighting in relationships, which, God, I felt seen, because that's every relationship I was in before my one now. I was always the person fighting for the other one, and it's exhausting. And so I can also see another reason why she was triggered.
Yeah.
And so then she mentions her trauma as well. And so it makes more sense once we get that information.
No, and I agree. And that's when I was really like, yeah, you can't just think about how you would feel in that situation. Mm-hmm. You have to think, about what the Bachelor/Bachelorette
mm-hmm.
has shared that she feels, or, like, think that, like, hey, she hasn't had the same experience as me, so, and we're different people, so she probably is going to feel differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy she didn't just, like, cancel the after party date, because I just don't know that I could have, if I was her and I felt the way that she did with her experiences, I don't know that I could have had those conversations with those men, because they didn't make an effort to have a conversation with me all day.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that she brought it up, but I also wish she would have brought it up to everyone.
It could have avoided some stuff. And I feel like
she could have literally just been like, bring them all. Or at least the 12 men, because that was the problem. Bring them. And then talk to them, and then she could get to know all of them more.
Yeah, and I just, like, she should have just said it before it was even the after party, because, like, then she had to sit and get ready thinking about that, and, like, that would just make me not want to go even more.
Yeah,
I honestly thought she was going to cancel it after she had already gotten ready and sat down. Like, I thought she was just going to cancel it, and I was like...
It's like, you spent all that time getting
ready. I know, I would have been like, no.
Like, you look hot, but, like... Don't cancel it.
Oh my God. Which date was it?
Oh, I know.
Michelle was wearing the most horrendous dress, and which fucking date? It was like that. Was it the Rick date? Is it that grandma?
Yeah, it was the Rick date.
Okay, we'll talk about that then, though.
Fitting for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she tells the men on the night portion about why she was upset and everything, and Alu says that she has every right to be upset.
He's already crying before he even talks to her.
Yes, and I was just like, he's so precious, but also I'm like still skeptical about every guy, and I'm like, wait, what are you gonna do?
Okay, see, I feel like Alu is two different people. I think he's three different people. So he's who he is around the guys. He's who he is with Michelle, and then he's who he is in the ITMs.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's kind of shady. He's shady as hell.
He kind of reminds me of Cross sometimes. Shady, funny. He's very sweet to her and emotional with her. And then with the guys... Oh my God. Oh my God, we'll have to talk about him and Chris S.
No. I already want to talk about it, but, like, let's get through. I want to talk about all the cocktail party stuff together, because it'll make more sense together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of the men, though, when she sits down and talks to them, they're all apologetic. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I will say... It was kind of a move, I think, for Michelle to specifically kind of pull Nate and be like, hey. Like, even though she was like, I don't mean to specifically call you out, that's kind of what it felt like.
Ooh, but for me, one of the things that I think about that is I think already Nate is a comforting person for her. And when she was sitting down and talking to him and then kind of ranting about everything, you could just see that she was so comfortable talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she was expressing frustration, even frustration with him directly, it was like she was still comforted and can still express that directly, which I thought was important. And I think that it's kind of like a subconscious thing where it was like she pulled him because he does bring her that comfortness.
Yeah, and she already does have very strong feelings about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think while he knows that and he knows his strong feelings, also there was 11 other men during the day portion, and he maybe didn't want to step on anyone's toes. And I think it was a universal thing for the men.
Yeah. And we already heard him kind of feeling confident, so I don't think he felt the need during the day.
Yeah. And
which I think, could get.
I think Nate is really about those intimate moments with Michelle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry if you heard the blow dryer.
That's a roommate.
Yeah, sorry. But she does give out a rose.
I was surprised. I didn't think anyone was going to get one.
Yeah.
And then she had the conversation with Lulu, and I was like, she might give it to him.
Yeah.
If she gives it to anyone, it'll be him.
And he tells her, I appreciate you. And so he gets it.
Yeah, and yay.
I made a joke. I was like, oh, she saw a man crying and said, yes, you get the rose.
I mean, fair. Like, he reacted to her emotions with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see where that's attractive.
Yeah, I love him. I think I'm just so scared because he's an Aries and I'm traumatized by Aries men.
Yeah. They're pretty traumatizing.
Than one. Like, yeah.
They're pretty traumatizing.